This night's gameplay is totally different from other. Spring Bonnie takes the role of both Burn Freddy and Burn Fox, while Fredbear takes the role of me, Burn Chica, and my brother. On top of this, Glitchful Boy is a threat we have to deal with. He comes through the left vent randomly during the night, and if you fail to prevent him from getting in, he fully destroyed all of our cameras, giving us no way to know where any of the cameras are going to fall. There was actually a pretty crazy attempt I had where I managed to make it to 5 a.m. after Boy had already gotten off. So it's not completely impossible to clutch up but it just makes this an extremely hard night and harder. Because of how active the animatronics are on this night, it's extreme. Listening for every single sound and figuring out which threats to be dealt with in which order. Your timing also needs to be flawless the entire night. If you mess up and take too long on any one task in the game, well, then it's game. This night is also, as far as I can tell, pretty. There would be times when I would close the door on Fredbear or be jump scared by spring one.
I feel key. Every choice.
This night is extremely unbalanced, and I was honestly thinking I wouldn't be able to get it done. That was until I had a very lucky run where for some reason Spring Bonnie stopped attacking Kirby night. Meaning all I had to do was keep track of Fredbear, and this allowed me to cheese my way through night 5 and move on to the end of the game. Now, unfortunately, on my first week, I decided to spare the game, which meant I chose the path of the bad ending. So after the game ended, I got to the bad ending.
It's a dream.
Found it!
Like I need a psychiatrist.
Yeah, so in the bad ending, it was all a dream. The entire story was a dream. This is when I realized that to see the actual ending, I was gonna have to play the game twice. And, well, I did exactly. So if you guys are enjoying the video so far, consider this time I killed the first kid, sparing the one with the Bonnie mask. This actually changes the ending to a different ending. And in this one, we actually get to see the bite of 80 take place.
I'm right here. Fine. Stop. No. No. You got this.
Now this is another bad ending, but this one is much better than the original bad ending. In this one, we actually get to see something happen. So I was a lot more satisfied with this ending, but there is also one last see Shadow Fredbear and other animatronics dining while William up on them behind and destroys them. I'm pretty sure this cutscene is depicting what we saw in the mini games in FNAF 3. William continues dismantling the animatronics one by one, finishing with Fox before this happened.
No way, no. Now, Sarah. It's ain't fun.
We see William get spring locked just like in the FNAF 3 minigames, only this time it's done in the first person perspective. And the one to scare William into putting is none other than his own son, brother. This is where the game ends, and I'm actually a pretty big fan of the narrative changes the original stops. It seems like Jelly Liam's approach to the series at this point was to make the notable events in the past more cohesive as a narrative, and also tie a lot of the characters together, making the story mostly revolve around the captain and I think it works pretty well. Moments like the Bite of 83 and Spring Block scene are really cool to see from Gale's perspective, because we are so used to only hearing about these things or seeing them in it. Not only was the story a huge upgrade in this game first, but also the game. I really liked the puzzle-based aspects, and the way you need to manage all the animatronics reminded me of a lot of my favorite nights from Purification, which is a good. The graphics are also a big step up. First, they aren't
What is
perfect,
this
but
place?
they do a good enough
Tell
job
me.
to show the
There is no
There are also-
time. This guy's gonna kill me. He's got the key to the emergency exit in the room behind me.
Besides that, everything looks pretty good. Also, this is really impressive.
The
for
code
a
to the
game
door
made
is
by just one person,
4,
especially
0,
considering it came out
3,
nearly 7 years.
1.
Anyways, that concludes Final Nights 2. So now let's move on to Final Night Nightmares. Alright, so now for Final Nights 3. And before jumping into the game, I usually like to go through some of the on the game, I got extremely hyped because Final Nights is actually an adaptation of Five Nights at Freddy's, showing what happened to the crime child after the events of the Bite of 8. The game opens up with an intro cutscene showing the crime child being taken to the hospital. The whole thing has a very sad cinematic tone that I'm really not used to in any FNAF. Like I said, I'm not used to stuff like this in FNAF type games, but I feel like it works surprisingly well. It feels like the game is taking events that happen a lot more seriously than games have, and that honestly got me really excited for this story was headed. After this, we wake up in the hospital. It's daytime, and talking to us is our Fredbear plushie. This is where we are able to press W to get off our bed, and from here we have several options, like turning to the left to check on the window. We are able to run up to explode, or looking to our right to check the hallway, which we can also run up. We can also check both the left and right sides of the hallway, as well as close the door by pressing space. We are also able to run up the closet right in front of us. Finally, we learn that getting back on the bed and pressing space causes our characters to notice. This is the only time we actually progress at night, but we need to make sure we are sleeping whenever we are safe. After this, the tutorial concludes, but before moving on, I just want to quickly say how much I like this environment. Changing the FNAF 4 bedroom to a hospital not only makes much more sense, but it's also just a more unique location for a FNAF fan game to occur. After moving past the tutorial, we get a few small tips from our friend Fredbear. We must sleep to progress. No sleeping if the Reapers are in. Scare the puppet away when you close the closet. Close the door when my friend is close. After this, the night begins, and we see the brightly lit hospital to the night. The tips we got from Fredbear were, of course, referring to the various threats we faced on the first of these threads. Reaper Puppet will be seen through the window on the balcony, slowly to us. If we go up to close the curtain before the puppet has reached its final stage, we will be jumped. So it's important for us to be close when the time is right. The other animatronic attacking us during night one first Spring Bonnie was actually a really good concept for a character. I always found it interesting that the crime child didn't have nightmares about Spring Bonnie. So to see that portrayed here, Spring Bonnie has one of the most confusing mechanics in the game. He begins the night at the end of the hallway, and every time he moves, it is indicated to us through the sounds. One time sounds flash our flashlight. We need to do this for both first and second. After this, you will finally found that he found to run for as in and shut it on. This sets his position. Being lying at the landing after dealing with Luckily though, for night